But this woman told me I got her pregnant the same day she got her period, and then accidentally exposed herself on TikTok 3 years later. May 7th, 2021, Maria gets her birth control arm implant out. She's from my hometown, and she was living in New Orleans at the time, so she could only be here on the weekends. So she came in town the next 2 weekends, May 14th and May 21st. We partied with my friends. She stayed over. She had someone take these pictures, and then later tried to use them to prove we were in a relationship. We weren't. What was I supposed to say? Don't take a picture with me? And then I went to California. While I'm there, I posted with another girl, Whitney. She's only a friend, but Maria didn't know that. Maybe she got jealous, I don't know, but what she did next will never cease to amaze me. On June 6, 2021, Maria gets her period. She knows I didn't get her pregnant, and she also knows I'm about to move across the country. So she invites me to brunch, and she tells me she's pregnant, fully knowing that she's not. Then she starts drinking, like a lot. We then leave and go to another restaurant and meet up with my friend Dylan, and she also tells him that she's pregnant. Dylan and I think it's weird that she's drinking, but she insists it's okay. Here's the proof that this video is on June 6th.
Fuck this place, move to California.
Hey, you didn't get a lemon in you.
Oh, fuck, wrong way.
This video is dumb, but it shows two things. Maria was drinking, and I made it very clear that I was leaving. And that's important because that brunch, that's the last time I ever saw her until the week before the baby was born. Here's how we found out that she was on her period when she told me she was pregnant. Here's a photo she posted to TikTok to try to prove we were in a relationship. She changed the dates on the photos, but we'll get into that later. And then she posted this one. I then tell my girlfriend, who's a nurse, that she took that photo the day that she told me she was pregnant. And Hadley's like, hold up, there's no way. Let me see that ultrasound photo again. So we pull up the ultrasound that she sent my mom. The ultrasound was done on January 17th, 2022. And it showed that she was 32 weeks and 1 day. I've since learned that pregnancy is calculated from the first day of a woman's last menstrual period. And if we count back 32 weeks and 1 day from January 17th, 2022, we get June 6th, 2021, the day she told me she was pregnant. And we didn't sleep together that day either. Since she never saw me after that, that means that she knew from the beginning that I was never the father. Furthermore, here's proof that I'm in California the only weekend that she could have gotten pregnant. She trapped me before there was even a baby. And the crazy part, we probably would have never found out if she wouldn't have posted the photos. She exposed her own lie, and it only gets crazier from here.
All right, so we're getting through the story, eh? So we've got this Maria gal who's sounds like a pathological liar, and it only develops from there. I notice when I'm sort of looking at the backgrounds here of this guy's life. Just going to pause this and rewind it back. All of the areas that he's filming in, I'm assuming are his parents' home because he's a young man in his 20s. He did say that she lived in his Airbnb for free. He's obviously well off. Like, women do target guys in this sense. She duped him, basically said, hey, no strings attached, let's have some sex. I want to have a baby. I'm 30, whatever. More than likely, I don't think that they were probably traveling in the same friend circles, because if you're 24, you're generally not hanging out with a 30-something-year-old. My guess is they probably worked together, right? Shocking, surprise, surprise, very similar to my story. Only he fell for it. But she targeted a guy that's good looking, has financial resources, obviously, a willing participant, quote unquote. So I think she knew what she was doing here, and with all the web of lies that sort of unfold as we go, just let's see what happens with this one now.
Here's how I ended up the birth of a baby that I was only supposed to be a sperm donor for. July 12th, 2021, she confirms that she's actually pregnant. We only found that out later when she started posting on TikTok, but at that time she kept quiet. From July 22nd through July 26th, I was with my friend Whitney. She met my mom and she posted it on Facebook. Maria didn't know she was just a friend, and based on what happened next, I think she got jealous, because not long after, Maria starts messaging my mom.
Hello.
Hey, Mama.
The night, I guess, that we first met, I guess was that night at the house show. One of the first things after we introduced ourselves and sat down, I can remember her saying to me that she hoped that I didn't think that she took advantage of my son. And of course, I gave a polite answer to that. She went on to discuss, and she mentioned, how I guess she was impressed with you to be so young and so successful at that age. I can remember her mentioning your house and all your toys.
From that point on.
Okay, let me just pause there for a second, because Mom's chiming in with some important information. She's talking about when she sat down with Maria. I don't know if you guys heard it, but the mom is dealing with the sperm recipient, I guess, whatever. And she's talking about how impressed she was with her son, how successful he was at such a young age, and his financial resources. You see that, the targeting mechanism here, right? Let's keep playing this.
Maria started pulling my mom in deeper. She would ask for baby pictures of me, and she told my mom that baby's gonna look just like me. She made my mom feel important and needed, and when Maria told her that she had no one, my mom felt pressure to come to the birth.
She told me if something ever happens to her, I want you to raise the baby. And I just remember thinking, this poor girl has no one.
By then, my family was in. They were planning to be at the birth, and I was about to be too. My mom tells me that Maria told her she has no one coming to the birth, no family, no support. She's scared, and she really wants me to be there. So I booked a flight on February 23rd, 2022, and it's $677. And I sent Maria the screenshot. By this time, Maria has already had 2 separate baby showers and never posted anything about it. Not one bump photo, nothing. And then a few hours after I booked my ticket, and on the same day.
Hang on, I got to pause this for a sec because I'm just looking at the very size of this binder over here. It's massive. Look at all the tags he's got on it. This is not a small binder. This is a 3-inch binder.
I sent her the screenshot confirming I was going to be at the birth. And at 8.5 months pregnant, that is the first time she ever posts that she's pregnant. And she uses my last name. She waited until I was fully in, and then she told the world.
Wow.
She didn't just lie. She made sure the lie had backup. The day the baby was born, I was there, and I was the first person to ever hold the baby. And I just remember thinking, this is what it feels like to become.
Dude's holding some other dude's baby, lying there posing with it, pretending it's his. Wow.
My dad didn't care about anything else in that moment. My parents are there posting about how they're grandparents again. And then the nurse comes in and she brings in the forms for the birth certificate and the acknowledgement of paternity. I signed everything because I thought the baby was mine, and Maria knew I wouldn't. After the birth, she scheduled a full-blown newborn photo shoot. She posed me holding the baby, and they would jump in the photos.
Here we go. Here's the here's the Instagram photo shoot. For clout online, how women will use these professional photo shoots to get likes and appreciation and attention online after they have a baby. You'll see this all the time. Once you see the code in the Matrix, you'll see it a lot, right?
She had my dog in the photos too, and had already ordered a bandana that said Big Brother. She shared the photos online, but I had no idea because I was already blocked.
A dog is a big brother. Like, this is a level of delusion this is the world of delusion that this gal Maria lives in.
On Facebook. She was posting pictures of me and the baby, making it look like we were this perfect little family. And while I'm across the country, she's messaging my childhood friends. She's asking my best friend Dylan and his girlfriend Megan to babysit, and they do. She starts asking my friends and family if they want to be the godparents. She didn't just ask 1 or 2 people. She told multiple friends they might be chosen. Literally, this is what my brother posted of me, the baby, and my friends. He joked, the godparents who didn't make the cut. And Maria liked the picture. At first, she kept things peaceful and calm. It's like she didn't want to risk pushing me away too fast. Once I was settled into this nice little world she created for me, that's when she started to tighten her grip. And that's when the real abuse begins. Part 5 coming tonight.
All right, well, let's go to part 5. Let's just keep going. As a drama unfolds. Hang on, let's just rewind this a little bit, speed it up so we can rip through it a bit faster. And here's part 5.
You don't realize it's abuse when there's no bruises, but she didn't need violence. She used my love for the baby to control me. She waited until I was all in. Once I settled into my role as a father, once she knew I wasn't going anywhere, that's when it changed. The control started small, a comment here, a demand there, but it escalated fast. It was Easter 2022, and I flew home to see the baby. I spent nearly $900 on flights. My whole family was at the house. My parents, nieces, uncles, aunts, cousins. I blocked off my Airbnb, and I hosted everyone, including Maria and the baby. At first, things seemed normal. She was upstairs drinking, talking with my mom, being friendly. I was downstairs with my cousin, just hanging out. The more she drank, the more her attitude started to shift. There was this edge to her, sharp glances and short responses. You could feel it building. Then, out of nowhere.
Just pausing this for a second because it's a relevant point, guys. Alcohol is a truth serum. When women drink, when men drink it, when we all drink alcohol, we tend to sort of we drop the filters, right? They say that if you're if you're an asshole and you start drinking, then everything that you've done to sort of hide that disparaging, that bad, that negative behavior that'll look bad in the wrong light comes to the surface, right? So just understand that alcohol is a very good truth serum. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.